And they're off and running in this Tees Valley Mitsubishi restricted race. They head towards the first of 20. First fence coming up quickly, and Who's to Say sets off in front. Heads over it with a 2-length lead to Monson Storm in second place. 3 lengths to Shepherd's Cave on the inside of Mr. Muldoon as they race on towards number 2. Mr. Muldoon moving up into third. After these in 5th place, Temple Point and Eden Collonge's Chokeout in 6th. As they go over number 2, Who's to Say, a little bit out to the left, but over safely, leading by 2 to 3 lengths to Monson Storm, a winner on this card 2 years ago when giving John Dawson a double on the day. 3 lengths then to Mr. Muldoon, 1 from 1 in points so far, jumping that one on the outside in the black and mauve colours. On the outside of Temple Point, as they make the turn at the far end of the race course. And swing round now towards the 3 down the back, and Who's to Say has given up the ghost. So the leader as they go down the far side is Monson Storm as they go towards 4, 5 and 6. Monson Storm to Mr. Muldoon and Temple Point as they go over the first of 3 along the back. After these then in the blue colours, Shepherd's Cave, and it's 10 lengths then to Eden Collonge with Who's to Say out of the contest. On they go then towards number 5, and it's Monson Storm sporting cheek pieces over that one, 3 lengths to the good, over Temple Point, having a 5th start in points today, 2nd so far this season at Alnwick and Friars Hoff. Half a length then to Mr. Muldoon, on the outside for Joe Wright, 2 lengths to Shepherd's Cave in 4th place, and Eden Collonge last of the 5 that remain, this number 6, the last in this section on the turnout. Back towards us, and soon to take the left-hand turn past the tents. Over it this time, 2 circuits to go, Monson Storm, then a line of 3, with Temple Point on the inside, Mr. Muldoon in the centre, Shepherd's Cave on the outside for Jack Jordan. These 4 just 4 or 5 lengths in front to Eden Collonge as they make their way past us, and it's Monson Storm showing the way. 4 to 6 favourite when winning 2 years ago. But second favourite in the market here to Mr. Muldoon round the outside. Mr. Muldoon, who was an easy winner at Charm Park recently. Temple Point representing the Cottesmore, black and red, under Rory Bevan, just about in second place at this point. Number 7 is a plain fence, Monson Storm to Temple Point and Mr. Muldoon, the first 3. Shepherd's Cave over in 4th place, and it's 3 or 4 lengths then to Eden Collonge at the ditch, over which leaders over safely, Monson Storm swinging right-handed, and on towards 2 plain fences on the next section to Mr. Muldoon and Shepherd's Cave and Temple Point. These 4 tightly grouped, 7 or 8 lengths in front then to Eden Collonge as they skip over the next plain fence. On now swiftly towards the fence at the far end, number 10, halfway in the jumping stakes here in the Tees Valley Mitsubishi restricted contest. And up front, Monson Storm still spearheading the pack. Shepherd's Cave continuing to get competitive in the blue colours on the outside. Mr. Muldoon in the centre and Temple Point towards the inside. 6 or 7 in front of Eden Collonge, who's still in the mix as the 5 take the left-hand turn. And on now towards fences 11 and 12 against the trees of the far side. Monson Storm going on here. Under John Dawson, John who's had 3 winners here in recent seasons. Taking that by just over a length to Shepherd's Cave on the outside, showing to the inside Temple Point. Mr. Muldoon as a sheepskin noseband, looking for a second win in 2 starts in points. Eden Collonge on their coattails, 4 lengths behind as they swing over the next, and a good jump there by Monson Storm. Makes the long run now towards number 13. Monson Storm to Shepherd's Cave on the outside of Temple Point. Mr. Muldoon 2 lengths off the leader. And they're 3 or 4 lengths in front to Eden Collonge, and this restricted race is warming up nicely as they come towards the fence, which will be the last next time around, and it's Monson Storm. This time round it's number 13, Monson Storm, by a half to Shepherd's Cave on the outer. Temple Point in the black and red, and then Mr. Muldoon, 4th in the jumping stakes that time and jumped it in 4th place, 5 lengths off the leader. After these, Eden Collonge as they swing left and race past the bookies. And a little bit of a reminder there for Eden Collage as they go on now towards the two fences going away from us, fences 14 and 15. Monson Storm going on by 3 parts of a length as they make their way left-handed to Temple Point on the inside, Shepherd's Cave on the outside. Mr. Muldoon getting a little bit low round that turn, Joe Wright, but in close attendance and scoops up into second as they go towards the 14th. Monson Storm, Mr. Muldoon 1 and 2, and they've quickly press the gas on over that mistake by Temple Point. A mistake forced by Temple Point there as those two went on. Eden Collage was clumsy at the 14th, and they go swiftly over the open ditch and swing right-handed. And Eden Collage has been pulled up before the open ditch. 5 fences left to jump. Fence number 16 is next, and it's Monson Storm and Mr. Muldoon, these two, to Shepherd's Cave and Temple Point 3rd and 4th in Indian File as they race towards the 4th last. And a little bit of a reminder there for Monson Storm as Mr. Muldoon presses on the inside. 3 lengths to Shepherd's Cave in 3rd, and then Temple Point 4th best at this point as they go towards the fence at the far end. And over that, a little bit out to the right that time, Monson Storm has still just about had the advantage, swinging left-handed now to Mr. Muldoon in 2nd place, 3 lengths behind the leader. They're 6 lengths on to Shepherd's Cave as they make their way around that turn, and a further 6 back then to Temple Point as they move on down the far side. 3 fences left to jump in the restricted, and Monson Storm has led all this way, but Mr. Muldoon in the wings as they come towards the 3rd last. 2 lengths between the pair over the 3rd last, Monson Storm, and now Mr. Muldoon between 3 out and 2 out, asserts and goes on. Mr. Muldoon goes 2, 3, 4 lengths in front as they run down towards the 2nd last. The response was fairly immediate over the 2nd last. Mr. Muldoon safe enough to Monson Storm in 2nd place. Shepherd's Cave over in 3rd. Temple Point a long way back in 4th, so they make the run towards the 20th and last. Temple Point did not jump the 2nd last, pulled up. So they go towards the the final fence, the 20th and last, and Mr. Muldoon with the initiative leads by 7 to 8. Mr. Muldoon starting the uphill climb with Monson Storm trying hard in 2nd place. Shepherd's Cave in 3rd, the 20th and final fence for Mr. Muldoon. Comes towards the last now, Mr. Muldoon over safely, going on up the hill. Monson Storm very tired in 2nd place, but managed to get to the other side. And then Shepherd's Cave, well, the Sages came with a bit of a reputation for this one, and Mr. Muldoon is going to make it 2 for 2 and remains unbeaten in UK points. Mr. Muldoon takes the prize, and going up the hill for 2nd, it's going to be a close call as Shepherd's Cave rallies on the run-in, and Shepherd's Cave is coming through to force it possibly for 2nd ahead of Monson Storm.